Hypertension or high blood pressure is one of the most pervasive and dangerous health conditions of our time. It often arrives without warning, a silent stalker that quietly damages the body from the inside out. Think of your circulatory system as a vast network of highways with your heart as the central engine pumping life-sustaining blood to every corner of your body. When blood pressure is high, it's like running that engine on overdrive constantly. This relentless force strains the delicate walls of your arteries, making them less flexible and more prone to damage over time. It's a condition affecting more than 1 billion people globally, a staggering number that underscores its status as a true public health crisis. The consequences of uncontrolled hypertension are severe and life-altering. This constant pressure is a leading cause of heart attacks as it forces the heart muscle to work harder, eventually leading to failure. It is also a primary driver of strokes, where a weakened blood vessel in the brain can either burst or become blocked, cutting off vital oxygen supply. Beyond these catastrophic events, chronic high blood pressure contributes to kidney disease, vision loss, and cognitive decline. The story of hypertension is a human story. It's the story of a grandfather who misses his grandchild's wedding because of a sudden stroke. It's the story of a mother who has to undergo dialysis 3 times a week because her kidneys have failed. For decades, we have waged a war against hypertension with a formidable yet imperfect arsenal of medications. Beta blockers, ACC inhibitors, diuretics, calcium channel blockers. These drugs have saved countless lives and have become the bedrock of cardiovascular disease prevention. However, for a significant portion of patients, these standard treatments are simply not enough. We call this condition resistant hypertension. Blood pressure remains stubbornly high despite being on 3 or more different types of medication, often including a diuretic. These individuals are living with a ticking time bomb, facing a much higher risk of heart attack, stroke, and kidney failure. Many of the current medications come with a host of side effects that impact quality of life: coughing, dizziness, fatigue, swelling in their legs. This reality often leads to a difficult trade-off for patients and their doctors. The burden of these side effects can make it difficult for people to stick to their prescribed regimen. When patients stop taking their medication because it makes them feel unwell, their blood pressure can rebound, putting them in immediate danger. This is the frustrating frontier where modern medicine has been stalled. We have been mixing and matching the same classes of drugs for years, trying to find the right cocktail for each patient. It's like a locksmith trying to open a complex lock with a set of old, familiar keys, none of which are quite the right fit. While these keys work for many doors, a growing number remain stubbornly locked. This is why the search for a new key, a novel mechanism of action that can address the root cause for these patients, has been one of the most urgent quests in cardiovascular medicine. In the ongoing search for a solution for resistant hypertension, a new name has emerged, bringing with it a wave of cautious optimism: Baxdrostat. This is not just another Me Too drug, a slight variation on an existing theme. It represents a completely new approach, a targeted therapy designed to address a specific biological pathway. That, for many, is the underlying driver of their high blood pressure. Baxdrostat is part of a new class of medications known as aldosterone synthase inhibitors. Its development marks a potential turning point, offering hope to those who have felt hopeless for years, watching their blood pressure numbers remain dangerously high despite their best efforts. What makes Baxdrostat so unique is its precision. While many existing drugs have broad effects on the body, sometimes leading to unwanted side effects, Baxdrostat is designed to be incredibly selective. It hones in on a single specific target, the enzyme responsible for producing aldosterone. Think of it as a highly skilled sniper rather than a cannon. Instead of causing widespread systemic changes, it aims to neutralize one key culprit in the complex cascade of factors that regulate blood pressure. This specificity is the cornerstone of its design, the primary reason it has generated so much excitement within the medical and scientific communities. To understand the promise of Baxdrostat, we need to talk about a powerful hormone called aldosterone. Imagine your body has a sophisticated system managing its fluid and salt levels, essential for maintaining stable blood pressure. Aldosterone is one of the master regulators in this system. It is produced by your adrenal glands, small glands that sit on top of your kidneys. When aldosterone is released, it sends a signal to the kidneys telling them to reabsorb sodium back into the bloodstream and excrete potassium. Where salt goes, water follows. This increases the volume of fluid in your blood vessels. In a healthy person, this system is beautifully balanced. Your body produces just enough aldosterone to keep blood pressure normal. However, in some individuals, this system goes haywire. The adrenal glands start producing too much aldosterone. This excess hormone leads to constant salt and water retention, dramatically increasing blood volume. Picture trying to force too much water through a garden hose. The pressure inside the hose builds up significantly. This is what happens inside the arteries of people with aldosterone-driven hypertension, leading to stubbornly high blood pressure. This is where Baxdrostat enters the picture. It works by directly targeting the source of the problem. Baxdrostat is an aldosterone synthase inhibitor. Let's break that down. Synthase equals an enzyme that synthesizes or creates something. Aldosterone synthase is the specific enzyme inside the adrenal glands responsible for the final step in making aldosterone. Baxdrostat blocks this exact enzyme, shutting down overproduction at its source, stopping the signal before it reaches the kidneys. The result is a cascade of positive effects. With less aldosterone, kidneys stop retaining excess salt and water. They begin to excrete more sodium and consequently more water in the urine. This reduces overall blood volume, lowering pressure against artery walls. It's an elegant and direct mechanism. Instead of managing symptoms with diuretics, Baxdrostat addresses the hormonal imbalance, offering a more fundamental solution. The development of Baxdrostat is really a story of molecular precision and overcoming a significant biological hurdle. For a long time, scientists understood that blocking aldosterone production could be a powerful way to treat hypertension. The challenge lay in the similarity between the enzyme that makes aldosterone synthase, CYP11B2, and the enzyme that makes cortisol, 11-beta-hydroxylase, CYP11B1. These two enzymes are about 93% identical in their genetic makeup. Early attempts to create an inhibitor would block both, leading to a dangerous drop in cortisol, which can cause life-threatening adrenal crisis. The mission was to find a compound that could tell these two nearly identical twins apart. This is where meticulous and innovative chemistry came into play. Scientists at Syncor Pharma, later acquired by AstraZeneca, screened thousands of molecules, searching for the perfect shape and chemical properties to bind selectively to aldosterone synthase. They needed a molecule that would fit like a key in a lock, while being the wrong shape for the cortisol enzyme. Baxdrostat was the result of that exhaustive search. It was engineered to have more than 100 times greater selectivity for aldosterone synthase compared to its cortisol-producing cousin. This selectivity is the scientific linchpin that makes Baxdrostat promising. In early clinical trials, this theoretical advantage played out. Researchers saw significant reduction in aldosterone levels while cortisol remained stable and normal. That confirmed the drug hit its target without dangerous off-target effects. It was the eureka moment researchers had waited for, a safe, effective aldosterone synthase inhibitor within reach. The implications are profound. It opens a new therapeutic pathway for a previously hard-to-manage condition. By proving selective inhibition, the science behind Baxdrostat has validated a whole new strategy for cardiovascular medicine. This success will likely spur research into other highly selective inhibitors for many diseases, pushing the boundaries of targeted molecular medicine. It's a powerful example of how deep biology and chemistry knowledge can translate into tangible hope for patients. Imagine a 62-year-old man named Robert. For the past decade, Robert has been battling resistant hypertension. He diligently takes 4 different blood pressure pills every single day, watches his salt intake, and tries to walk regularly. Despite all this effort, his systolic blood pressure rarely drops below 150, well into the danger zone. Every visit to his cardiologist ends with a frustrating conversation and another medication adjustment that yields little improvement. Robert lives with constant, low-grade fear of a heart attack or stroke, a shadow that hangs over his plans for retirement and time with his grandchildren. For Robert, Baxdrostat could be a life-changing intervention. Consider Maria, a 55-year-old woman who has been on blood pressure medication for years. While one of her medications, a diuretic, helps control her numbers, it leaves her with persistent side effects. She often feels dizzy when she stands up and is plagued by muscle cramps due to low potassium. She feels trapped between the risks of uncontrolled hypertension and the poor quality of life caused by her treatment. For Maria, a drug like Baxdrostat might not only lower her blood pressure more effectively, but could potentially allow her to reduce other medications that cause distress, restoring normalcy to her daily life. The benefits could extend to patients with specific conditions known to be driven by aldosterone. Primary aldosteronism is a condition where a benign tumor on an adrenal gland churns out excessive amounts of the hormone. While surgery can sometimes be an option, it's not always feasible. For these patients, Baxdrostat could offer powerful, non-invasive medical therapy to directly counteract tumor effects, normalizing blood pressure and protecting heart and kidneys from long-term damage. It provides a targeted solution for a very specific and often underdiagnosed cause of severe hypertension. Think about the broader population of patients with heart failure. We know that high levels of aldosterone contribute to fibrosis or scarring of the heart muscle, making it stiff and less efficient. While we have drugs that block aldosterone effects at its receptor, a medication that lowers the actual hormone amount could offer even greater protection. Researchers are exploring whether Baxdrostat could not only lower blood pressure but help prevent or reverse harmful heart remodeling in heart failure patients. The potential applications are vast, touching many of the most vulnerable cardiovascular patients. The initial data from clinical trials of Baxdrostat have sent a palpable wave of excitement, particularly among cardiologists and nephrologists on the front lines of treating resistant hypertension. The Phase 2 Brighton trial showed striking results. Patients given Baxdrostat saw a significant dose-dependent drop in blood pressure versus placebo. The highest dose produced an average 20-point fall in systolic BP, huge for this group. It wasn't just the size of the drop, but that it came with a favorable safety profile. The big fear was impact on cortisol. The Brighton data showed aldosterone fell while cortisol was largely unaffected, proving high selectivity. Clinicians responded with relief and optimism. Leading experts took notice. Dr. George Bacris, hypertension specialist who helped with the research, called it a potential home run. When someone of his stature says that, people listen. The topic is buzzing in conferences and journals. Baxdrostat offers a new plan of attack. Physicians had hit a brick wall. They could add more drugs, increase doses, counsel on lifestyle, yet the needle often wouldn't move. Baxdrostat targets a key pathophysiological driver, giving doctors a logical next step. It shifts care from trial and error to targeted mechanism-based therapy, moving from managing to potentially solving the problem for a specific group of patients. While the initial excitement surrounding Baxdrostat is well-founded, it is crucial to temper our optimism with a healthy dose of scientific patience. The journey from promising clinical trial to widely available prescription is long and rigorous, and rightly so. The positive Phase 2 results are a major milestone, but they are not the final word. The drug must now prove its worth in larger, more comprehensive Phase 3 trials involving thousands of patients from diverse backgrounds over longer periods, to confirm the drug's efficacy and build a complete picture of its long-term safety. Phase 3 trials will answer how Baxdrostat performs in the real world over extended periods. Researchers will look closely for any rare or delayed side effects that may not have been apparent in shorter, smaller studies. They will assess impact on heart outcomes. It's one thing to show a drug lowers blood pressure readings. It's more important to prove that by lowering that number, the drug actually reduces heart attacks, strokes, and deaths. This is the ultimate benchmark for any new cardiovascular medication, and it's a high bar to clear. There are practical and regulatory hurdles to overcome. After Phase 3 trials, the data must be submitted to regulatory bodies like the FDA and European Medicines Agency. These agencies will conduct exhaustive review to determine if benefits outweigh risks. This process can take many months, and approval is never guaranteed. The path is fraught with potential setbacks, and the scientific community will be watching closely as Baxdrostat navigates this critical phase. Even with approval, the story doesn't end. There will be ongoing questions about which patients are the best candidates for this therapy. Developing reliable tests to measure aldosterone levels could become more important, helping doctors identify individuals most likely to respond. We will need to understand how Baxdrostat interacts with other medications and how it fits into the broader treatment landscape. The road ahead is still long, but each successful step brings us closer to a future where resistant hypertension is no longer a life sentence of high risk. The potential arrival of Baxdrostat is more than just an exciting development in pharmacology. It represents a fundamental shift in how we think about and treat high blood pressure. For decades, our approach has been largely generalized. Baxdrostat heralds a new era of precision medicine in hypertension, moving beyond one-size-fits-all to tailor treatments to specific underlying biology. Target the why behind a patient's disease, not just the what. This change in perspective has the power to redefine the future for millions around the world. For patients with resistant hypertension, the promise is deeply personal. Relief from the constant anxiety of uncontrolled blood pressure. Wake up without dizziness or fatigue from complex medication cocktails. Look forward to a long, healthy future free from imminent cardiovascular threat. Restore quality of life. Engage fully with families, work, and passions. For the medical community, this is transformative. Empower physicians with a new, effective tool. Turn moments of frustration into opportunities for success. Spur renewed focus on diagnosing root causes like primary aldosteronism. Lead to better diagnosis, more targeted treatment, better outcomes. Fight this silent epidemic with greater intelligence and precision. So is Baxdrostat the end of hypertension? No, not for everyone. Hypertension is complex. Baxdrostat is a specific tool for a specific problem. But for millions driven by excess aldosterone, it may end their struggle. A monumental step forward, a beacon of hope, a reminder that scientific inquiry and innovation can change the course of human health for the better.